Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Metaphor Fantazio. Last time, we spent quite a few days hanging around here and Brylehaven, just passing the time with our friends, increasing our bond ranks. And we also went to the Varmarano Coliseum and duked it out with two thieves alongside Stroll. Just two broods fisting other two dudes. Did I say two broods? You know what? I'm keeping that. Anyways, today, we are going to be spending just a little bit more time, one full day, hanging out with our bond mates, and then we're going to be going off to the Everfrost Forest. But first things first, we're gonna go over to Port Brylehaven, as it is, of course, Water's Day. And I think it'd be best if I bought the remaining archetypal rings that I need. As, spoiler alert, Basilio is the last party member we get in the game. I know, I can't believe I just spoiled a major event, even though we are well over halfway through the game. In fact, we're about 2/3 of the way through the game. And, of course, there's going to be no more party members. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 2 more. I need 80,000 for this. I can definitely math. I'll buy 2 of these. Obviously, I said I needed to save up a lot of money for big purchases. This is obviously not that. But trust me, the Everfrost Forest is going to be a pretty big cut. So I am not too worried about this right now. Either way, with 2 archetypal rings purchased, I am now going to see what bond ranges we can hang out with. Now, interestingly enough, Alonso is available during the day today, which is not normally the case. It means that there's something pretty big going on. Let's go ahead and see what he has to say. Alonso asks Will for assistance in bringing the landowner to justice, a single step toward a world where evil is duly punished. Let's see what he's got. Once he arrives, I will set the cogs in motion. Hey, Alonso, you're kind of out in the rain here, but at least you got a hat. Don't have a spare, do you? No? Well, we'll do our best. Ah, well met. What are you up to? I've been waiting. Would you mind coming with me to see the landowner? Yeah, sure, I'll go with you.
Thank you.
Great. My network already has the info. I'll send the final go-ahead. That'll ensure the landlord takes a certain little used path, so we won't be disturbed. Now, the curtain rises. I'm interested to see what he has in store for us. Alonso! What are you doing here? What are you planning? Have you heard? A little bird told me your daughter has a man she fancies. What's his name again? Oh, right. Cuculus. Did you say your goodbyes to her before you left? Or had she gone out somewhere? What have you done to my daughter, you cur? What happens to your precious daughter depends on you. Tell your gods to give us a little space.
Now.
What are you after? My life? If you're offering it, sure. But there's something I want more. Tell me, where do your desires truly lie?
What?
My desires? What the hell are you getting at? To get into your purse strings, I had to use everything at my disposal to look into you. What I found was rather discomforting. Allegedly, you've committed several atrocities in various villages, yet many villagers still respect you. I had assumed you used money or force to make them submit, but I was wrong. Perhaps you've hidden your true intentions this whole time. Explain yourself. She's 5 years younger than me, yes? She's quite lovely when she smiles, just like her mother. With such a beautiful little family at stake, you've no choice but to obey what your conspirators told you behind closed doors.
That's right.
You were a beloved father, an upstanding man, and they noticed. They fed you lies and flattery in turn. One moment you're praised, the next, threatened. And before you knew it, you've fallen in line with the oppressors of the weak, and you can't break free. It's a rather pitiful tale, don't you think?
Silence.
What do you know? How could you possibly understand the depravity that taints this world? I have 3 daughters, and those bastards, they...
Tell me.
Don't you wish you could end this ruse? I'd have quit long ago if I could have. I don't want to be stolen from any longer. I haven't the power to change a single thing.
Ridiculous.
That sounds awfully familiar, doesn't it? Where have I heard those words before?
Well, sure.
I believe you said them, Alonzo. Ah, you remember. Well, that's all in the past now. And if I hadn't met you, I would have surely ended up just like him.
Moving on.
Well, I've learned what I wanted to know. Now then, good sir, would you like a chance at redemption? I'll set your daughter free, and I'll even help you atone for your sins, so long as you agree to my terms and cooperate with me. Fine. I accept your offer. You have my word. Ha! You hear that? Alright then. It's time for the big reveal. I haven't done anything to your daughter. Actually, I've never even met her.
Hey.
You understand why I told you that load of rubbish, don't you? I took a gamble on you, on what you truly desire. Well, that's one mountain climbed. I predicted correctly and won my bet.
Listen.
Hold on. That should be our bet, right? Oh my, I can't tell if you're the daring or dauntless type. I must admit, it's quite charming. That's what I like most about you. In hindsight, I've always run away when things take a turn for the worse, even when I tried to die. It was to escape my sins. But you've helped me figure out what I ought to do. Something only I can do. Yes, I'm a liar and a cheat. Yet I hate those who lie and cheat. I hate the very framework of a world that made me become the deceiver I am. What lies ahead will be the great conman Alonzo's work of a lifetime.
Remember your vow.
For this new king who will change this cesspit into a never-before-seen utopia, I'll pull the wool over the world's eyes and then take it for myself. What Alonzo's words mean isn't clear, but I can see the steadfast resolution in his eyes. He's decided to place his absolute trust in me.
I will live to my fullest potential.
And I'm excited to see it, Alonzo. With rank 6, we obtained Faker Veneration, which will cheapen the cost for studying the Faker lineage. Very nice. Sure you're dying to know what I have planned. Just bear with me for now.
Farewell.
When next we meet, I'll unveil everything in spectacular fashion. Be sure you don't delay. For now, farewell. Hi, nurse. I have to wait a little bit longer before we hang out with you again. For, you see, Brigitte is also available, and Katharina. Finally, I told you guys it was going to be a long time before we could hang out with Katharina again. Yes, it's post-Altabury that we get to hang out with her again. It's been a long time, but she's just gonna have to wait a little bit. I have plans to hang out with Brigitte for today. Now, Brigitte sets out for revenge on the extremist village, but finds them with no ill intent. Her suspicions fall on her handlers at the church. Well, let's go see if we can't figure out the truth behind this matter. Oh, you're not Brigitte, I think. An Elden kid. You're one of Lady Brigitte's contacts, then. Am? I've been assigned to stand guard here. She told me not to let anyone but an Elden kid through. And you're Elden, sure as anything. No reason to turn you away, so come in, I suppose. I didn't expect you to show up. You hear the criers?
Everyone!
The anti-Igniter terrorists' hideout has been burnt to the ground! Local village a front for criminal fiends, torched thanks to renowned Igniter merchant Lady Brigitte Lycone!
At this time!
Those fearmongers cried of the dangers of magic igniters and planned to raid our royal capital, Grand Trad, once its people were unarmed.
Hear ye!
However, they have been brought to justice through the overwhelming power of magic igniters. 3 cheers for Lady Brigitte! 3 cheers for magic igniters! There you have it. But they're lying. It's my word versus the voice of the country. Even then, you'd believe in me? I didn't do anything. But the people I met then at the village, They're dead now.
Those people.
They were no anti-igniter group. It was the Sanctus Church, or rather those who perform its dirty work. They want the world to see that igniters are the only defense they have against the violence around them. And so they set a village ablaze to prove their point. And by taking my dog, they made me a tool in their scheme, making it look like the work of an anti-igniter group. They knew I would set out to slaughter those responsible. Even though you stopped me before anything happened, someone else raised the village and named me responsible.
You get it.
In short, this is a warning. From here on, they'll ask nothing less than total, unquestioning obedience. What do you plan to do now? Killing some churchmen won't change anything. Not when the whole institution's rotten. This world's a horrific place, defined by inequality and intolerance. And the ones who shaped it are the wealthy few who sit atop it. In other words, church.
In those days.
I had friends of my own when I was a child of poverty. Even through all the sludge and mire, we survived together, broke bread together. They all died slow. Starvation or torture took them. The Sanctus Church wheedles the strong and takes from the weak their wealth and their lives. I remember holding their cold, dead bodies in my arms. That's when I decided. From then on, I'd be the one doing the taking. If the weak always die, they lose everything, then I'd become strong. I'd be on the side that takes. I wouldn't let anyone steal what I had. I swore it. I threw away my heart, threw away my hope. Now I've clawed my way here, made myself an underling of the same church that killed my friends. And still, even once you climb out of hell, there's only another circle of it waiting for you. Never ends. How far must I fight them? How much must I take from them to ensure that they can no longer tear things from my grasp? It'll be your head next. So I'll be the church's slave. I'll be whoever they need me to be.
But
things will never change that way.
Shut up.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! With all you must have been through, how can you live a life like that and still believe in light? In this world? Why do you not let me give up? Brigitta's vulnerability and her desire to be saved bring pain to my heart.
Why? Why did you?
I'm not gonna give up on you, Brigitta. And with this, we obtain rank 6, giving us Merchant Veneration, helping with the merchant lineage, and Merchant's Markdown, significantly improves the exchange rate at the magic exchange. Will, when you think of this world you want to create, what do you imagine there?
Right.
Hope. It sounds a country too bright for me. I wish I could have a heart like yours. Strong and beautiful. Calmed Brigitta down and waited until she fell asleep before I left the room. There's a letter and a package from
here
Barden.
you are.
I came across this and thought it would be better in your hands. Good luck out there. Life-saving medicine, that's pretty valuable. We'll give Brigitta some time to rest and recuperate. My apologies. These spices are most unkind to my sinuses.
Think we'll make it?
I'm just glad you didn't catch a cold. It's pretty chilly here, so we all have to be careful not to get sick. To speak the truth, you are permitted to get the sniffles after our task is complete, and only then. For now, we must work to increase our support.
Let's make it happen.
You're right, and we only got 5 days left until we leave. We can't take on too much before then. Don't worry, I've planned it all out. Now we're going to be hanging out with the informant of Alderbury Heights. I have plenty of information that'll be useful to you. What is it that you want to know? Now we have a lot of new things we want to grab, and honestly, we want to grab all of these. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab as many of these as I can, but I'm only going to talk about a few key things. First things first I want to discuss is the Ice Beast of Everfrost Forest, since we're going to be going there later today. Tell me, where are you from? Will your body be able to handle the Everfrost Forest, a place that's perpetually frozen? Well, if we don't want to get cold, probably not, but duty calls. Obviously, ice attacks are ineffective against monsters that have adapted to the region. On the other hand, fire will work well against them. The monsters are aware of this weakness, though. Stop them before they use an ability that repels magic, otherwise you'll be in trouble. Of course, you could always counter this tactic with a good sword or other such implement. It's always good to come prepared with a backup plan. If your enemies protect themselves against fire, you may want to rely on attacks not constrained to an affinity. One last thing, I've heard rumors of a person stalking the area. They don't appear to be stranded, so who knows what they're doing out there. Apologies, perhaps that information was irrelevant. Anyway, go and slay that monster. I'm sure everyone will feel safer once you do. Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and grab the Tower of Insolence and Luis's fighting style, but we'll be going over those whenever they're a little bit more relevant. Where are we going to get today? Rock Beans and Gauntlet Room. Nice. Alright. We don't have to worry about too much about preparations, so let's just set a course for the Everfrost Forest.
Now then, what should we
Ah, look at that. The round table is fully filled up. Everyone is here. Okay. Flying to dungeons. Now that your Gauntlet Runner is capable of flight, thank you, nurse, distant dungeons that would have taken days to reach take only a single day. However, if the dungeon isn't in an open area, you cannot fly to it, as the Gauntlet Runner wouldn't be able to land. Now, how far do I fly then? So, like, for example, the Spire of Blind Faith would only take a single day. A good example of whenever flight will not help you with timed traversal is something like the Scoundrel's Hole. It'll still take you 2 days, because it's in a underground cave, I guess. But since it's technically not out in the open, it does not count towards flight. But again, things like the Spire of Blind Faith. If you hadn't completed this quest beforehand, you can do it now in a single day, and you would need to worry about it too much. Anyways, let's go to the Everfrost Forest. The bounty is here in the forest, right? Between the name and the region, this place has freezing written all over it. Hearing the army lost sight of it bothers me. It's either fairly fleet of foot, or it'll be all clear once we're there. Here's we can fly there from here.
It's your call.
We should get there by midday. Can we make it back by tonight? But of course, so long as you don't dilly-dally, that is. Oh, we're gonna be doing some dilly-dallying, shilly-shallying.
Let's be off.
God, I hate that term. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is an okay movie. Emphasis on okay, but oh my goodness, that segment annoys me. Anyways, awesome music. Now that whenever we are flying, we have an awesome new track to listen to. Going out on deck, eh? Let's slow down, but do take care not to tumble off now. We can also go outside and experience the weather. Look at this. Yeah, it's just a bunch of clouds, but look how small everything seems from here. Honestly, if the game hadn't captured your wonder by this point, it would be here that I think it would really perform well. I just get vibes from... This may not resonate with everyone, but I mentioned Final Fantasy XI before, but just being on the airship here and being able to see us traversing the land reminds me of the airships in Final Fantasy XI, where you can see the landmarks passing you by as you travel in the air. I could sit here for a long time. I mean, yes, it is a stationary map, and we're just kind of turning left and right, but it still captures that vision so well. Either way, let's go and pass some time before we head to the Everfrost Forest. Of course, we can obviously make some new food, and we got some new recipes. Let's cook something that we haven't cooked yet before. We have finisher noodles, amber stew, and that's all we can make right now. So let's make the finisher noodles. Made with exotic ingredients, this is a bowl to die for. For 30 seconds, defeat enemies in the field with a single hit. This is actually pretty good. We can only make one of them right now. We need a brocaded koi, monster bone, and pristine clear water. Isn't that a dish from Haizume's home village? I'll go get him. Thanks to speed cooking, I cooked time without passing. And we got 2 finisher noodles. And we might as well see if we've got any new books now that Basilio has joined our group. We've got Literacy Workbook. It appears to be a book for practicing reading and writing, with pictures and large letters throughout. Basilio has written and sketched in it, but I haven't started reading it. So let's take a look. This is how Basilio practiced writing. Looking through it really makes you feel what kind of life he's living. If I read this book, I may gain more imagination. Well, I mean, we don't need much more imagination, but we might as well read it for posterity's sake. It's a book meant to teach reading and writing. Illustrations of food and animals have their names in big letters, and I can see traces of Basilio's practicing in the margins. The paper is worn, probably from being traced over so much. The names Basilio, Fidelio, Rella, and Luis have been written many times. He seems to have written the words eat, sleep, run, and escape a lot. Makes you wonder what kind of life Basilio and Fidelio really led. Basilio's handwriting is big and bold, just like him. I thought about Basilio's life. I feel like my imagination improved as well.
All right.
If you need any more extra imagination, this is a good way to get it. There's still more left to read in this book. I'll pick up from here next time. Boy there! Have you thought to take a look outside? I'm stopping us for a moment.
The solstice crossing unfurls ahead. Powerful magic at play here blends autumn scenery with winter vistas all year round. Its stunning beauty soothes the hearts of travelers. But it is also said that if one remains too long, they succumb to the mountain's enchantment. Perhaps guided by magics powerful enough to alter the seasons, the gauntlet runner stops before the trees grow too dense.
Welcome to the Solstice Crossing. Oh, it's such a gorgeous sight. Everyone, please have a look at this. The thicket possesses such a deep red color. My, such a stunning display of autumn leaves. What do you mean by autumn leaves?
Yes.
Oh, I suppose this is your first time seeing them. In colder regions, the color of the trees shift to a red or yellow when the temperature descends. We call this season autumn, which is the best season in the world. I will have no argument against it. According to what the innkeeper told me, in this place the leaves stay that way the whole year. The snow too. Oh, you would have to kill me to get me off this place.
Whatever do you
Oh, if it's truly a result of the temperature, then how is it that the particular autumn leaves maintain a pigment throughout the year? I don't know. Ask Gallica.
Gallica.
I defer to Gallica. She can explain it. Huh? Me? What makes you think I know? The exact wordings of it are unfamiliar to me, but from what I've heard, all this was the work of one of the hero kings. Specifically the Faker King, who took a particular delight in surprising his subjects. It is said that he casts some magic upon this mountain. Using magic to set the changing seasons in stone definitely sounds like something the Faker King would do. I am amazed to learn that there's such a story about this place. Listening to the story of the Hero King has caused my wisdom to deepen.
All right.
Actually, we might be able to max out our wisdom here fairly soon. Not quite, but we're getting there.
I'm quite grateful.
Everyone, I must thank you all most deeply. Huh? Well, what makes you say that all of a sudden? If you had not allowed me to accompany you off the island, I would have never seen something such as this. I share similar sentiments. In all my years, I would never have been so deeply moved by such a sight. I think we're bound to see many more surprising things as we continue our journey. Quite the treat to see a new landscape. I had a fair bit of fun drawing this place as well. I'm sure you did. I'll take Nurse's drawing with me as a record of how our journey is going.
A road in the northeastern mountains of Montario gives way to the Everfrost Forest, its foliage visible through the biting wind, just as the seas of Oceania rise inexplicably into the air. The land here rejects even the modest climate fluctuations of its surroundings. The gauntlet runner skids along the frost to stop at the forest's entrance, the icy wind ever present.
Isn't that?
So, according to the stories, our bounty is lurking somewhere within the woods. The beast seems to be quite dedicated to hiding itself. It seems we have no choice but to lure it out.
Now then,
It's not my preferred way of doing things, but I suppose we just need to make a scene then.
speaking of,
According to what we heard at the recruitment center, it previously appeared after it sensed some of the Volmos had been killed. Aye, so let's hunt down some Volmos then. We must tread with caution in this place. We may find ourselves surrounded by foes in an open
I'm
area.
heading out.
Alright, let's get started. Our goal is ultimately to take down Luis, right? Well then, we can't allow ourselves to get stymied by something like this. Or stymied. I don't know, it's been a while since I've had to do any schoolwork. Just a second, I sense something. Oh boy. This feeling, there really is one of those here right now? Okay, cool. Welcome to the Everfrost Forest. I'm gonna do some team composition works because I realize Stroll's still the only one in my party. Alright, so here's our team composition. We're gonna have Will, Juna, Yufa, and Basilio. Soul Hacker for Will, Wizard for Juna, Summoner for Yufa, and Berserker for Basilio. This will be our first time really showing off what he can do. Obviously, his weapon is not super strong compared to the rest of us, but he'll be doing some pretty decent damage. So let's go ahead and go inside and see what we can do to check things out. Okay. That definitely is how English works. Let's go! We have 2 new archetypes to showcase, Soul Hacker and the Berserker. And also Basilio is our new party member. Everyone else who's not on the field has archetypal rings on, and we also have Fortune's Grasp on Juna, so we can have access to more AE XP and more stuff. As you can see here with the Everfrost Forest, we've got lots of annoying fog. Shouldn't be that big of a deal though. All of the enemies in this region are either weak to wind or fire, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Also, look at this. The Soul Hacker's attack range is huge. It's freaking huge. It's super, super good. There's our Gold Beetle right off the bat. Kill the Sandworm. Now, thankfully, we are pretty strong. We shouldn't run into any major issues outside of our Elementa for the region, which if we hit him really good, we can see that it's a Light Elementa. You can almost guarantee you know what this is. We do then. Unfortunately, we don't have many good ways of dealing dark damage to this thing, but I can at least get some extra actions on it. There we go. With Yufa, let's see if we can't maybe do summon Gargoyle. It's decent damage. With Will, now we have access to the Soul Hacker. We also have Winning Horse, which deals severe physical strike damage to one enemy. Let's see if we can't do that. Winning Horse.
No holding back!
932 damage is not bad.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, for this, let's go ahead and just actually trigger dark damage again. Maybe Juna can do some pretty good damage. Bachara. No, I need to recover from stun too. That sucks. Okay, well, I thought maybe it wouldn't recover from stun. It's not the end of the world if we don't get those every time, but it could have been nice. Especially with hard mode now permanently on. Walk through the fog here and you'll be able to take care of these enemies no problem. Run through the area, kill the enemies, you'll trigger the boss in no time. Our composition is still perfectly fine for what we're going to be dealing with.
There they are.
Now, something I want to talk about as we run through the Everfrost Forest is I want to discuss the Mage Academy. Now, the Mage Academy is actually a pretty big point of contention within the community of Metaphor Fantazio, as it is generally seemed as it's generally considered to be a piece of content that was dropped from the game. We have a large setup in Altabury where we are supposed to chase after Rella to get the answers to the questions we've been wanting for the entire game. Who was what happened the night the prince was attacked and his assassination attempt was created?
There they are.
How did the Sanctus Church fit into everything? Oh, we've already got our boss ready. I guess we'll hold on to our conversation then in just a second. Let's deal with this first, I guess. Well, that definitely looks like a two-headed beast. A monster with 2 heads. Undoubtedly, this is the Great Ice Beast, which we've heard so much about. Hang on now. What's that behind him?
Oi!
Hey, you, it's dangerous here! Stay away from that monster and get behind us! What monster? No, this presence is a divine sign of the coming age. It is a testament, heralding the new epoch written according to Lord Luis's gospel. And when all has been effaced within that void, Lord Luis shall establish a new nation. This beast and I, we are here alike to aid him.
Wait.
Is this soul truly an associate of Luis? No. This one's inherent. The devotion's all one-sided like. Many of his lot among the frontline soldiers pushed to fanaticism by frustration with the But what's he doing with a monster? That thing certainly doesn't play nice with people. It's a ferocious beast. When we first met, this beast had been grievously wounded. Teaching an injured beast some manners is simple, with the help of an igniter, that is. That a legendary beast would be at my command, why surely this is divine providence. And so together we combat any who would make an enemy of Lord Luis. Wait, could it be that you are the self-proclaimed prince that would defy Lord Luis? Ha ha! Providence blesses us further. Killing you would beckon Lord Luis's world closer yet. I don't believe words will reach him. So come, get ready, everyone. All we do to see Lord Luis's world realized. And so do I hereby consign all of you to oblivion. Yeah, double boss battle. We weren't expecting that. Now, we have Ice Beast Kaimenzan and Montarian Spear Soldier. Now, the Montarian Spear Soldier is actually weak to strike damage, so Basilio is going to be just right at home here. Now, the Ice Beast here is weak to fire and wind. I believe we can even see one of the weaknesses, yes. And we can't see anything about the Montarian Spear Soldier. Now, Juna here, as she has access to fire, is going to use some Botchra. Now, this Ice Beast is pretty tanky. Now, Summon Gargoyle, I will say right now, is probably not the best choice of action. I would say, actually, the Summon Gargoyle is actually okay. I would hold off on using Summon Dragon God, as despite the fact that the Montarian Spear Soldier will be weak to strike damage, he will absorb both ice, well, cold climate and all, and also fire. So don't use any AoE fire damage. I would suggest focusing on the Ice Beast for right now. If you can somehow do some good damage to the Montarian Spear Soldier, go right ahead, but it's not something I think is immediately needed. Again, avoid Seeker's Flame here. So what we're going to do is we are going to utilize Void Wave in order to lower the attack power of the Ice Beast. We're going to have Basilio go into the back row here and prepare Charge. Greatly increases the caster's physical attack damage once per battle. Let's use Charge. That'll boost his attack power. With our newfound knowledge of wind damage, we're going to just completely ignore that and go for Botchra. And we're going to go for Summon Gargoyle again. It'll do a little bit of extra damage. We'll continue to do Void Wave as well to lower the attack of the Ice Beast. And then with Basilio, we're going to go to the front row and we're going to use Slam. Actually, we'll use Slam Shatter on both enemies. Dealing a lot of good damage to the enemy weak to it. Breath of Battle. Attack and defense rose dramatically, and Sacrifice of Life. He's going to give his HP, all of his HP, to the Ice Beast. Damn, okay. Well, we obviously want to get rid of the weakness of the boosts here. The way we can do that is, if I can find it... Well, I don't have... There we go. Amnesty Talisman. Let's go ahead and get rid of all those buff effects. With Yufa, let's use Summon Eagle Lion to lower this enemy's attack power. Now that the Montarian Soldier is gone, we can take advantage of certain things like Seeker's Flame and Summon Dragon God. Let's continue to use Void Wave to lower the attack power, unless I miss! If I miss, that kind of sucks. Well, let's go ahead and use Charge then. Gotta love it when I miss. Frenzied Claw! Has a chance of applying Rage whenever it attacks. We definitely want to cleanse that as soon as possible. I definitely want to get rid of Rage. If I can find something that can cure it. I guess I don't have anything that can cure it. I guess I'll have to use the Panacea to get rid of the Rage. I don't really want Will pissing the Dragon God. Well, not the Dragon God. I don't want him pissing off the Kaimenzan off. Let's use Summon Dragon God to remove all buff. I mean, I guess I could have done this to remove all buff effects, but you definitely want the extra damage. Use Void Wave again. Lower the attack power. We now have access to our boost. So let's use Berserker and do... let's use Battery Tackle.
We'll combine our strength.
Yeah, look at that damage. Honestly, about 1,600 damage. Pretty good. Okay. And honestly, I think I might gamble on Fager's Roguery here, just for fun. Maybe we get some more actions. Yeah, I got 3 extra actions. Let's use this time, since we can't get any bonus actions, we might as well do Summon Dragon God, just for the extra damage. And then let's use Void Wave to lower his attack to the lowest rung. Boom. Got Blizzaton is AoE ice damage. Obviously, we do have someone who's weak to it, but it's not that big of a deal. He's gonna do Gablitzaton again, but thanks to Yifa being in the back row, she's not really gonna take too much damage from this. Alright, and I think honestly Slam Strike might be enough to finish this off. Let's see it. Not quite. That's okay. Alright, Juna, finish this off. Yeah, no problem. This boss fight's not too bad. Lots of points for it too.
To ever greater heights.
And got 8 Heroes Leaf of Lights. Yeah, pretty good.
Feels like I'm making progress.
And there's our Frostpoint Horn. Impossible. The beast is a symbol of the upcoming upheaval. The proof that the world responded to Lord Luis's will. To see it defeated is...
Hey!
Wake up, mate, and have a look around with your own eyes.
Damn it.
Listen, I was a soldier too, so I get where you're coming from. After a while, it all feels so hopeless and suffocating. Feels like it wouldn't be so bad to see this country turn to ash. Luis will break everything apart, that I have no doubt. The injustices will be gone, sure, but also the good things, the important things. He'll come for it all.
Hey.
Does that truly sit right with you? Your friends, your family, the places where you shared meals. There must be one thing in this world you couldn't bear to lose, isn't there? Once those things are gone, they're gone forever. There must be another way besides burning all of it down. But we've got no other choices left to us.
See this?
Look at this lad here. He's just a scrawny little elder, I admit. But I believe he's got more power than Luis. Truly. Admittedly, you must possess an immense power to fell the great ice beast. But
Yeah.
strength isn't just about raw power. Look at him. Even with things being the way they are now, he's still offering you a helping hand. He really wants to create a world where no one has to shed tears over injustice. I reckon there's more hope in that ideal than in the world that Luis is trying to make. Truly, a world without tears.
Leave it to me.
Please have faith in me. Your goals are different. Instead of trying to destroy, you actually want to build things up. Alright, I understand now. I'll place my faith in you, and I'll hold the line.
I'd love your help if you can.
Speaking with all honesty, I've also met others who share my concerns, and I will tell them of you. I shall take my leave. He's left us. I assume that he intends to rejoin his fellow deserters.
Now then.
Well then, back to the entrance for us too. Or must we still find this so-called relic? I want to explore more, damn it!
Goodness.
Making the world a better place one person at a time. Now, as I was saying about the Mage Academy. Now, there are a lot of people who feel like the Altabury storyline, which we've essentially completed, has gone a little too fast. I mean, pretty much everything has happened within basically a 3-day period. 9/10, 9/11, and 9/12, which is very unfortunate. It's very funny that Luis comes back and starts all of this crazy stuff on 9/11. Gave me a little bit of a chuckle. Now, I will admit, the Mage Academy segment very clearly feels like it should be a dungeon setup. We need to chase after Rella. We need to find the truth of everything that we've been building up for so long. It feels like it should kind of culminate into a dungeon. Oh, hey, we found the treasure chest. It feels like it all should sort of culminate into a dungeon. And I think that we should have, at the very least, gotten something very similar to the Upper House, where we got, like, maybe a few rooms, a little bit of dialogue, maybe a few enemies, to sort of set the scene. I don't think a dungeon was entirely necessary, though. However, data miners have found that there is a missing block, essentially, in the game's code when trying to organize dungeons. Essentially, there is a marking that showcases that there is an empty gap between the Drakengrace the Opera House and whatever our next dungeon upcoming is, indicating that almost certainly the Mage Academy was originally designed to be a dungeon, but was cut some time in development. I would suggest probably early in development, as there is only an outside backdrop for the Mage Academy. There isn't any created interior designs for it, other than what is rumored to be academia, as more assumes to academia to be a room in the Mage Academy. But other than that, we don't know what the interior of that building looks like. The unfortunate part about the Mage Academy not being a dungeon is that it is a very important part to the world's lore and history. And it would have been nice to actually go and explore it, but it isn't really the end of the world. Do I think that this segment of the game is a little too fast-paced? Yes. Do I think that it could have been improved? Yes. Do I think that it is a big con as to why a lot of people believe that this game's story is very rushed and sort of just, it kind of loses all sense of pacing for the back half of its narrative? No, not at all. I think the story still has a perfectly fine narrative to tell, and I do not think Metaphor's narrative is rushed at all. And in fact, I think that this is a situation where if we do get the dreaded Metaphor ReFantazio Deluxe version, like Persona 5 Royal or Persona 3 Reload, I don't want them to add the Mage Academy as a dungeon. I think that would be a bad decision. But that's probably just me. I think this game is long enough as it is and does not need anything extra to add on to it. What we got in terms of our story was fine enough. Could it have been better? Yes. Could it have been worse? Absolutely it could have been worse. There could have been way worse things to have in terms of pacing for this game's narrative. But I just wanted to go ahead and talk about that. Also, I guess the reveal that Rella is actually the assassin, I can finally talk about this. I was never convinced at all that Luis was the assassin, even in my first playthrough. The way that the cutscene showcased Luis, the assassin seemed way too timid and small to be Luis the Archmage. Besides, it didn't really seem like there was a good reason for Luis to want the prince dead in the first place, let alone work with assailants to make it happen. It never really sat right with me, and it was always something that I never really considered an option when trying to figure out the mystery of the story. So I never really was convinced that Luis was the assassin. I always thought it was someone else. And to be perfectly honest, it being Rella was not something that I fully predicted until she started getting a lot more screen time. I need to find merchant. I want to farm some cash. There it is.
Coin can solve.
Rella being the assassin, the attempted assassin of Luis was not something I immediately thought of, because my immediate answer was, I don't know, I don't see a reason for why she would need to be the assassin of the prince.
There they are.
Obviously, the game has a very good reason for her doing what she does, and I fully applaud the game for that. My original assumption was that the assassin was going to be someone who was close to the church, but also would have been someone who wanted the prince dead. And I just couldn't think of anyone. But as Rella got more and more screen time, it dawned on me that, yeah, Rella is roughly the same age as Luis, is perfectly gifted in magic. And while I don't have a good reason for why she might want the prince dead, I can't think of a reason why she wouldn't be an important key character. Anyways, Rella being the attempted assassin on the prince's life, I think is a good twist, and I think it makes perfect sense whenever you go back and replay through the game, and you can see some of those twists and turns. And besides, if you were paying attention, you did remember that, yeah, Rella is gifted with magic. She is able to recognize the curse's formula as being something that was improvised, and we can see that she has a big shock on her face whenever we bring it to her. I mean, she herself said that her heart skipped a beat whenever she brought it to us. Honestly, I think it's a pretty well-hidden twist, and it's also not a twist I think was absolutely necessary to be big. I think whoever cast the curse on the prince is an important piece of the plot, but I don't think it's super necessary for it to have been a major reveal that someone like Ford somehow did it. It being Rella and her being dispatched pretty quickly, I think is just fine. Could it have been handled better? Yeah, probably, but it's not the end of the world. Anyways, as you can probably tell, I'm going to be doing a little bit of money farming as I have a lot of stuff I want to buy in the coming days. So I will leave you at that, and I will see you at the end of my little dungeon grind. Okay, we're at about 320,000 Reeve. That's pretty respectable, especially since we're going to be getting a lot more money from whenever we turn this quest in and all of the loot that we've gotten. So I won't bore myself nor you with any more waiting. Let's just head back to town and enjoy ourselves. The bitter cold of that forest was something else, wasn't it? Just thinking about it is enough to get me shivering again. I do hope that the people who live nearby may now experience peace. They've suffered more than most, so I take satisfaction in aiding them. Bounty has a big payout too. So we're helping ourselves and the people at the same time. Birds meet stone. That's the best kind of help, innit? You better report in and let them know that the deed is done, Will. Don't worry, it's on my board. Yeah, platypus or not, this chill is the worst. That hot spring can't open up fast enough.
Of course.
If that's the case, why not hit the road? You can use the bath cask on the runner. We've 5 days left until the deadline, so it should be plenty of time for a dip.
Now then.
I suppose we ought to turn in for the night once we finish our plates. I'd say we earned our rest today. Good job. That we did. Let's go turn this in and we'll call it a day.
Anyone catch your
Oh,
eye?
could that be the Frostpoint Horn? He really defeated it. Well, I suppose it's no surprise given your level of skill.
Excuse me.
There was a deserter aiding the bounty, convinced it was a harbinger sent to bring down this corrupt country. That might have been why it was so difficult to find. He was probably covering its tracks.
Save me a lot of...
Does make sense of why we lost track of it. Appreciate the report. So here's your reward. Thank you for the amount of money I just got right there. Yes, please. Okay, 120,000 Reeve and extra courage. Obviously, we don't need to worry about the courage all that much, but I'll take the Reeve at the very least. Now keep this between us, but I've been seeing more and more deserters across the country lately. You've seen how strange the world has become these days. With His Eminence Ford and dead, everyone's gotten a bit restless.
Yeah.
The whole thing's a headache, huh? The whole country's in disorder. But I'm sure things will change once we take down Luis. But in the end, that soldier did eventually decide to support us. I'm sure it'll be easier to resolve this problem once you're king. You're the reliable type, aren't you? And we're happy to keep doing just that. Thank you. Well, with that all done and dusted, next time on Metaphor Fantazio, we're going to do one final rush of Bond quest upgrades, along with a few extra side things. And then after that, we'll be going to the Tower of Insolence. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.